Hey everybody, my name's Lisa and I'm the Crafty Goddess. Hello and welcome. For those of you who are new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. I make stuff, I buy stuff to make stuff. Sometimes I dabble in the kitchen, but I like to share new things and products and stuff when I have time anyway. But thank you so much for coming by and having a little visit. For returning viewers, welcome back. Good to see you again. I'm sure you've been wondering where the heck I've been lately. I will get to that in a second. But first, if anybody is so inclined, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe buttons while you're here. I once again have a piece of lint in my face. Yeah, it's what happens when you're surrounded by fiber. Sometimes you're picking lint from places you really wish they wouldn't land. So, today's video, I'm going to be doing a little bit of working on a project while I've been explaining where the heck I've been in the past, oh gosh, forever and a day or so. um, I think it was my first or second Hirschner's haul video. I said that I was working on a thing, and that's why I haven't shown my face around the YouTube universe as much lately. Because the thing I'm working on is actually quite time intensive, and it's taken a lot of my spare time. Recently, the thing that I have been working on got a bit of local media coverage. It's not an exclusive thing. It's not just me. Long story short, long story short as humanly possible, I, at the beginning of September, went back to school for a part-time program through continuing education to become a personal support worker, or PSW for short. Sorry, I just lost track of my stitches here. Okay, never mind. For those of you who are wondering what a PSW is, or personal support worker, it is a person who helps folks who are going through various shall we say, medical concerns or treatments, people who may not be able to do daily stuff on their own, like getting out of bed, brushing their teeth, eating, getting dressed, that sort of thing. Here in the province of Ontario, well, in Canada in general, healthcare, it's great. It's not bad. It's socialized healthcare. I am grateful that I don't have to pay for certain procedures out of pocket, but unfortunately, the added caveat to socialized healthcare is sometimes you have to wait for services. Sometimes it's a bit of a crunch for things to happen. For example, with folks, say, recovering from serious illnesses or, um, childbirth or surgery, that sort of thing, because the wait list is so long to get into hospitals to get things done and taken care of and whatnot, a lot of folks are encouraged to recuperate at home or in like respite care centers, like assisted living, long-term care. Sorry, I just realized this is off. Yeah, I always notice this after the camera goes on. I'm sorry. So, as part of that relief effort, personal support workers come in and help with folks sort of reintegrating back into their households. Basically, a lot of folks are encouraged to go home because that's where we're most comfortable. I don't know anybody out there has faced any sort of chronic illness or had to stay in a hospital for any reason, but it's not always the same. Like, yes, it's, an environment where you're being taken care of and looked after, and the support there is pretty cool, but it's not the same as home. So, and in some other cases, people can't stay home and they have to go to long-term care centers. And PSWs also come in handy there too, like for to help people, get around and do what they need to do. So, the demand for that is pretty huge. Can't speak for the rest of Canada, but I can say that here in Ontario, the need for support workers is pretty high. So it's something that I wanted to do. Okay, so I originally wanted to become an end-of-life doula. This is something I wanted to do years ago, like long before cancer even showed up. And I looked into various programs. Most of them were online, like through online learning, which Okay, fine, that's how some folks do it. But the costs for some of those end of life doula programs were in the tens of thousands. So basically, end of life doulas, it's the same as a birthing doula, where um, somebody is there to act as an advocate for persons going through, instead of giving birth, it's people going through palliative care or end of life care where they're at a probably feeling very fragile and need somebody to give them the dignity and advocacy that they need and deserve. So that's something that always kind of called to my attention, and I really wanted to get into it. But as I said, the cost of some of the programs were pretty high, and I don't want to insinuate that instructors for programs do not deserve to be paid. They absolutely do. I believe that teachers and instructors deserve to be paid. I believe that a lot of teachers and instructors are overworked and underappreciated and underpaid. And when it comes to shaping the minds of folks trying to learn new things and expand their knowledge and skill set, absolutely, they deserve that financial compensation. It's just I didn't have the tens of thousands of dollars kicking around in spare change in my apartment, so there goes that idea. So I was talking about this with a friend of mine who is also a nurse in Stratford, and she recommended that I take a course that at the time was free through the provincial government here in Ontario, um, to become a PSW, and then I could go into specializing in palliative and end of life care, which I thought was a brilliant idea. The program in question was available through I want to say, the Dune campus of Conestoga College here in southwestern Ontario. It's in the Tri City area, and it was a 6-month fast track program to get the schooling necessary to become a personal support worker. Instead of taking like the 9 months, it would have taken the 6. That's, you know what I mean. So hence the name Fast Track. Unfortunately, now at the time, as I said, the provincial government was offering it for free to sort of counteract the unfortunate crisis that southwestern Ontario, well, Ontario, Canada, etc., is going through in terms of healthcare. Making sure needs are met and people are being looked after. But when I got around to looking into it, which was around, I think, the end of 2022, it was no longer available for free. The provincial government was no longer covering it, which kind of sucked. But so that venue was shut down. Again, like I said, this is something I really wanted to do and get into, and just it felt like I was being stonewalled. And then, of course, for those of you who have been watching for a while, for those who are new, long story short, breast cancer tried to pick a fight with me and lost. But when I was off last year, I thought, maybe I could take that course anyway, try and pull some money together, because the tuition was no longer waived by the provincial government. It now costs, I think it was something like $4,000 plus like supplies, like books and that sort of thing. So that, it was a little more doable as than, say, tens of thousands of dollars. But it wasn't something that I could, again, pull out of my pocket because I wasn't working and I was on EI, employment insurance. But I thought, maybe if I could borrow some money from a friend or whatever, maybe I could put myself through that program. And my entire oncology team, my entire medical team, friends and family were even saying, "Don't. you're gonna be too tired." Because I thought I'm off for a little while. I'll be at home. I can do this online, whatever. And just no, it was not gonna happen. I severely underestimated how exhausted I would be with all these appointments and whatnot. So it wasn't gonna happen. By the way, just a little short sidetrack here. The pattern I'm working on right now, it's a crochet shawl pattern from Fiber Spider. It is the crochet mesh shawl pattern. I am using Lion Brand Scarfie, and it is in the colorway black and hot pink. So I'm not very far along with it, but I've just got like the little bit big on here. It basically turns into like this big spiderweb looking thing, and it's a crescent shawl, and it's pretty, and I like making them because they're easy. So that's what I'm working on right now, in case you're wondering why my hands are kind of moving around off screen. So yeah, hence the name, sip and stitch and chat and whatever I decided to call this video. um, so yes, I looked into that. That wasn't free. I couldn't afford it at the time. And so I was talking about this with a counselor that I was paired up with while I was going through all the cancer things, and she suggested, and a couple other people suggested as well, looking into seeing what I was eligible for in terms of like any grants or loans or whatever. Which I mean, I'm in my 50s. I don't know if I would have been eligible for much, if anything. And then she suggested looking into Lutherwood. Lutherwood being an employment counseling center for, and it could be anybody. It could be people looking to change their careers. It could be people new to Canada that maybe needed to be pointed in the right direction for employment purposes. And she said that they work with people like me all the time who maybe want to, change careers and whatnot. Because I, like, right now, well, to this day still, I'm still in the manufacturing industry in automotives. And a long time ago, I decided I wanted to get the heck out of it because it just, like, it doesn't feel as, like, it doesn't have as much meaning to me. And I don't want to sound like, oh, first world problems, kids don't want to work these days, blah, blah, whatever. I'm 54 years old, and I certainly don't want to retire at a place that will more than likely cause more chronic health conditions for me by doing grandiose amounts of factory work. So I wanted to change careers. I wanted to get out of there. I wanted to do something. And I've always been kind of intrigued with the medical industry anyway, like helping people in need who are facing some sort of medical crisis. Oh, sorry, just knocked over my microphone and my yarn. Oy vey. 1 second. For those who are new here, I do this all the time. Hold on. Get back here. All right. Rolly chair. Oh, for crying out loud. I need a good sturdy yarn bowl. Ugh. For those who want to send me a Christmas present, I want a yarn bowl that's not going to go anywhere. I've got a couple of them, but they're all full of projects. Oh, gosh. Okay. So, recommendation for Lutherwood. I went, my employment counselor, her name was Emma. She looked up a few things for me, and she said, hey, wait a second. There is an information seminar coming up for a PSW program that is beginning in September. And I said, really? And she recommended that I get down there and check it out. I thought, great idea, because that program, it was a full 9-month program being offered through the Upper Grand District School Board for a fraction of the cost. It was only, I believe tuition's only $1,400, and then school supplies like textbooks and whatnot were $300. So $1,700 compared to $4,000, compared to $10,000, et cetera, et cetera. I thought, well, that's easy. And even if I can't scare up all the money right away, maybe I can, pass the hat around, see if I can take a collection to help me get back to school and learn to do this. And it was a part-time schedule too. It wasn't full-time. I was going to be doing this, a few evenings a week, and then every other weekend. Well, at the time it said weekends. I thought it would have been every weekend, but it turns out it's every other weekend, which to me is far more doable than, say, quitting my job for 6 months and then doing something, So I went to the information seminar. This was sometime in June. Yeah, June or July. I'm going to say June-ish. And the principal for the Upper Grand District School Board was there. Well, the then principal, it's a different one now. They were there. The instructor for the program was there. She's a nurse, so she knows what she's talking about. Sorry, I gotta count my stitch hours. Where the heck am I? Get over here. 2, 3, okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put you guys on hold for a second. There we go. Okay, 1, 2, bam. Stick this in here and hope it looks good. So they were talking about the program, and it turns out it was, see, I thought, like, when I first registered for it, no, I'm doing that wrong. Oh, bloody hell. When I first registered for the program, I thought, okay, I can do this because, at the time I was working on afternoon shift. I thought, if it's during the day, it'll be a shoo-in. I can do this no problem. No, the information seminar said it was 2 evenings a week from 5 till 10. Okay, whatever. And then every other weekend. So that wasn't too bad. It wasn't as stressful a course load as I thought it would have been, or at least I said so at the time. I'm going to have to count again now. Damn it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. You know what? I'm going to guesstimate because it's a shawl and, tension doesn't matter. During the presentation, the cost of tuition was brought up, which was about, $1,400 plus the 300, so it'd be $1,700. But, alas, no, not alas, but, however, fortunately, no, I screwed that up. Sorry, folks. I'm going to try this again. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I was off by a little bit. I was off by 1 stitch. If anybody's actually done this pattern, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it's got to straighten itself out anyway. There we go. That's better. So during the presentation, they're talking about the tuition, whatever. But then it was announced that the Ministry of, I couldn't remember if it was the Ministry of Education or the Ministry of Health. Either way, one of the provincial ministries waived the fee for this program. So it no longer costs $1,700-ish to enroll in this program. It was absolutely free, which was amazing. All I had to do was pay for some sets of Navy scrubs, Navy for students, and a pair of non-skid shoes. That was it. Well, and, make sure my shots were up to date. Like, I had to get a 2-step TB test to make sure I didn't have TB. Get my flu shot up to date. Well, I already had my flu shot, and I got my flu shot and COVID shot last year. Anyway, sorry, I need to take a sip of coffee. Yummy. So I had to get, proof of flu shot, proof of COVID shots. I had to get a background check done, which is done through the municipal police program here. That costs, I believe, $45, but I got it done online, and it took like a matter of days to get it done. So yay! I had to get like a stack of paperwork done, like a bunch of health stuff, whatever. Because if I'm working in the health sector, I have to make sure I'm healthy enough to deal with healthy, not so healthy people. And the background check, obviously, it wasn't a background check. It's called the vulnerable sector check. Just basically to ensure that I don't have anything on my record that could potentially raise an alarm in terms of dealing with members of the public who are vulnerable, like the elderly, the infirmed, etc. I don't even have a record. I've never been arrested. I've never even been busted for jaywalking, although I've probably done that a few times. So got that all done, got accepted. I've been in the program since the beginning of September, although I missed the very first class because I had COVID again, which was not fun. But I was able to catch up rather quickly. The course, it's a 9-month course, so September, October is technically semester 1. We're now in November, so November, December, like they're modules. They're called modules. They're not semesters, but so it was like module 1, I'm in module 2, but I call it a semester anyway. And then module 3 is January, February, and then March, April, May. I got that completely mixed up. Modules are the units of study. So session 1 was September, October. Session 2 was November, December. Never mind. It's been a long day. I did a market this morning too. I've been up since like 7 o'clock this morning. I was really hoping I could sleep in this weekend. I will tomorrow, but whatever. So, where did I put my hook? So yeah. Yes, honey, I hear you. Kitty's yelling on the other side of the door. So I've been doing that. The first semester is pretty much an introductory course. What is a PSW? What does a PSW do? What are our duties and obligations? And, are we regulated, etc. More like an introductory course. And the amount of exams and projects, oh my gosh, I was stressing so hard. I haven't done schoolwork in literally decades. And I was a little nervous, like I was trying to study, I was trying to brush up on my notes and whatnot. And just, I finished the first semester with a 91, 92% average. So, yay me. I did it. Now, this semester is, whew, man, it's pretty intense. It's making the first semester look like a walk in the park. We're learning about ongoing conditions and illnesses and diseases. The first module was all about anatomy and physiology. Oh, there's a lot of medical terms and technical stuff and things that oh my gosh. Um, yeah, it's pretty intense and just makes the first session look like a cakewalk. But I also just recently wrote my food handler certification program. The one cool thing I like about this program is that you get multiple types of certification, multiple levels of certification. I got a certification for working with the elderly and recognizing signs and symptoms of abuse. I don't know how I did on my food handlers exam yet. I'll find out in a couple of weeks. I'm really hoping I pass. Please, if there's anybody listening, like, for the love of all that's holy, I want to pass this so bad, because there's only one chance to write that exam, and if you fail, you have to wait until next semester to do it all over again. And I don't want to do that. It's been pretty intense as it is. What else have we done this semester? We did something called a vital signs exam, or a vital signs clinic, where we were taking like pulse rates and temperature and whatnot. It's not normally within the PSW's scope of practice to take vital signs unless it's designated by a nurse or a supervisor or whatever. So it's good to have that knowledge handy. And I should mention that we are now at a local hospital where one of our work placements will be taking place anyway in March. So March will be doing a work placement at a place called St. Joseph's Hospital here in Guelph, which also doubles as a long-term care facility for folks who can't go home for various reasons. There is a lockdown unit for dementia patients. There's a palliative unit, which I'm hoping I can get a little bit more concentrated in, just to make sure I can actually do this work. So there's a variety of things. There's also a variety of programs at St. Joe's, which is great. But we have since moved from our original classroom available through the continuing education program to St. Joseph's, where we're doing our school there, like, permanently now. They have an auditorium that we've kind of taken over as the classroom. We wear our scrubs every day. I wear my navy blue scrubs, and we do a lot of lectures there. And like I said, we do labs. We're getting guest speakers to come in and talk to us about various levels of working with patients at St. Joe's, working with the elderly, working with immunocompromised people, working with dementia patients and whatnot. And it's such an eye-opening experience. It really is. It's, like I said, it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I do want to specialize in palliative and end-of-life care, because I feel that these people deserve the advocacy and dignity and respect and care as anybody else that's receiving medical care. Like I'm pretty sure some folks out there, you've either seen firsthand or heard of stories where someone who's facing end of life for whatever reason is just treated like they're already gone, or they're somebody has swooped down, like either like a relative or a partner or ex-partner, whatever, and has like, say, rewritten wills or decided how their end of life care is going to be decided for them. Meanwhile, the person's perfectly conscious and able to do that themselves and verbalize that themselves. Or somebody has decided to become opportunistic and take over and not give the client their own voice, and given them their individual freedom to decide how to handle matters. So as far as that regard is concerned, working in palliative care kind of gives the client a bit of an extra boost by having that backup, that person who takes care of them on a daily basis and says, yeah, they're able to function on their own, and this is what they want done, this is what they want to take care of. Like, it's not to take sides with family members or anything. It's basically putting the client and their care first and foremost, as it bloody should be. So it's something that really, um, I definitely want to explore and expand my skills in this department. I've also expressed to my instructor that I want to work with addiction recovery services. Uh, Part of our program is, as I mentioned, that there's a work placement for 3 months. So March will be at St. Joe's, where we're already doing the bulk of our school work. April and May will be different places in and around the community. The two places that I've applied for is, one of them is a hospice center, and one of them is a local mental health facility that has inpatients and outpatients, but deals with all different levels, like addictions, mental health, persons in crisis, etc. So it's something I really want to expand in. And because all this is happening and I'm doing this twice a week and every other weekend, I just haven't had enough time to come in here and do stuff. So I know I said long story short as possible, and I've been rambling for almost 26 minutes, but I just wanted to give some of you folks, some of my regular viewers, an idea of what's been happening and why. And oh wow, look at this! See, this is building up really quickly. I've only been doing this for like half an hour, and it just grows and grows. It's a 2-row. Again, like I said, look up the crescent shawl crochet. I think it's crochet mesh shawl. It's a crescent shawl pattern. It's a 2-row repeat. It's super easy. You can probably, for those of you who experience crochet people out there, you can probably do it on autopilot and just not even think about it. But because I'm using the Lion Brand Scarf yarn, it is a wool acrylic blend and it gets a little snaggy. So if you try to frog the project that's made out of the Scarfy yarn, you might get a little snag here and there and have to delicately untangle it. So just, forewarned. Need another sip, sorry. Yeah, I need a bit of an extra caffeine pickup because, like I said, I did a market this morning, holiday market, excuse me, and oh man, it was okay, but I didn't sell very much at all. My sister did great. She crochets up a storm, like she does the little stuffed animals and amigurumi, and she always does like very, very well at a lot of markets like this. She makes like gangbusters. I didn't, but last year I had really good markets. This year, not so much. So it's kind of, and I've noticed that too. A lot of, I don't mean to ramble again a bit, but a lot of the markets this year just haven't been as well or as popular, or people haven't been spending as much in general. Now, understandably, everything is so bloody expensive, and prices for everything has just skyrocketed, and it's awful, and I hate it. Which is another reason why I wanted to get into this program, because if we're going to be getting hit with those steel tariffs like we've been threatened with here in Canada come January, the auto industry, well, the auto industry in general is kind of nowhere near the way it used to be like 20 years ago. But I'm glad I'm making the transition now, because, oh man, we might get hit hard with this stuff, and just it's going to be a nightmare. I feel bad for my husband. He's still working there. I would like to help him find an out, but we'll see. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, no, yeah, markets been okay. God, it's just, I think people are being cautious with their wallets, which I completely understand. I mean, I certainly am. Although it is, Christmas time, it's that time of year. Oh gosh. Speaking of the holidays, if you've made it this far, which I hope you have, today is November 30th. It is the last day of November. Goodbye, November. Hello, December. Tomorrow's December 1st. I am starting, try speaking coherently here. Tomorrow, December 1st, I will be starting a series of videos where I will be doing an unwrapping every day until and including Christmas for an advent calendar I got from Cambridge Fibers. So yay! I'm really excited about this because I saw the series of videos that Diane from my Pink Bathtub Knits put out. She did a few advent calendars last year. She did the one from Aberdeen's Wool. She did one from Cambridge Fibers. She did a cute little chocolate one. It was so cute. She really inspired me to do that this year. I've been to Cambridge Fibers. It's one of my new favorite yarn stores. The cost of the advent calendar was pretty reasonable considering what you get. Um, the only thing is you have to kind of sort of keep an eye out when it becomes available, and then you have to snag it when you can. The price is a little bit higher if you need to get it shipped, but I was fortunate that my bestie picked it up for me on the way home from work. She works near Cambridge Fibers, so she was able to grab it, bring it home for me. And yes, in case anybody's curious, I do shower my bestie with handmade gifts as often as I can, because I'm nice like that. I'm a good friend. So beginning tomorrow, I will be unwrapping a gift every day, and I've also made my own advent calendar. I kind of slapdash put it together uh, just to add a little extra to it so I can put up a video every day and explain what I'm getting and why. Well, I don't have to explain why. So yeah, look out for that. That'll be every day. And additionally, before I go, I'm thinking about doing another giveaway. So I might do another live at some point in the next month, provided that I don't have as many technical difficulties as I did last time. Oh my gosh, that was a logistical nightmare. But anyway, for those who did show up the last live, thank you for surviving as long as you did. Oh man, I'm so sorry things tanked the way they did. But anyway, but I'm thinking about doing another giveaway sometime soon. I will keep you folks close. I'll keep you clued in on that. It might be during a live because I see a lot of other YouTubers out there doing lives during their doing giveaways during their live streams. So I might be doing that as well. Although I'm going to have to find an alternate way of shipping out the prizes because Canada Post is on strike. I support striking workers. I admire that they're fighting for equal wages and treatment. But it's Christmas, oh, man. But I hope that the conflict is resolved sooner than later. Fingers crossed. Anyway, I'm going to sign off for now because I want to keep working on this and drink my coffee. And you probably listened to me rattle enough. So, yeah, long story short, I mean it this time. I'm not here as often because I am going back to school to become a personal support worker and help folks in need and expand my knowledge of medical terms and the medical field in general. So that's why I haven't been here as often. Sorry. But I will try to endeavor to be more present, especially during the month of December, where I will be doing my advent calendar openings from Cambridge Fibers. So, yay, that starts tomorrow. All right, enough rambling. Oh, I know, I keep going, wait. In case anybody's wondering, this hat is the Brick Stitch beanie pattern from Jada and Stitches. My sister made it for me because I asked her, and I love it, and it's so comfy. So, okay, I think I'm done now. Okay. If you have made it this far, and you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate any and all positive feedback, and I mean it. I'm so grateful for all the positive feedback I've been getting from you kind folks. If you haven't done so already, please go down here and click the subscribe button. I'm very close to 1,600 subs, and I would love to hit that at least before Christmas. That would be awesome. That'd be my little Christmas gift to myself this year, hopefully. And drop a comment down below. Let me know what you're working on. Like I said, it's November 30th. It's crunch time. For those of us who play with fiber and make stuff, it's crunch time. Let me know what you folks are working on. What Christmas gifts you've got going on your hooks and needles. And yeah, let's try and keep each other company. Anyway, I'm done rambling now. Yeah, I'm wearing a Hello Kitty Christmas shirt. I don't do the Christmas thing very often, but I saw this Hello Kitty Christmas t-shirt and I had to get it. I'm sorry. I love Hello Kitty. All right. Enough rambling. My ADHD brain is bouncing all over the room, so let's call it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your patience if you've made it this far. And thanks so much for all the, reaching out and messaging and leaving comments and stuff. I really appreciate it. Very kind of you folks. Stay safe, keep making cool stuff, And we will talk again tomorrow. All right. Bye.